super, super good. One of the best
Oh.
mech anime I have listened to.
It's mech too?
I told you,
Now I
it's
might be
giant
in.
mechs.
Holy shit. Hello and welcome. My name is Alex and awesome with me today is my good old friend J.E.
Hey, that's me.
And please remember that we are not game devs. I was about to tell you, if it's a mech, if it had mechs in it, I'd be down. Now I'm going to have to be out $30. Let me look at my bank account and we'll see. How's your bank account, Jay?
I mean, couldn't be better.
No, I'm kidding. But those are not the currencies that we are talking about today. Today we are creating something new. Every week, we are not game devs. We'll create a new, exciting video game idea that we have always wanted to play, but do not have any knowledge or know how to create the wonderful experience that is video games. And today is my turn to present We Are Not Game Devs 139th IP. And we're going to begin with this basic concept. I want to do a farming simulator game where you're using the Nintendo Joy-Cons and motion control, and you're actually farming so that the tasks feel fun.
Okay.
I can't see your camera, but let's hope for the best.
Oh, weird. I am there. I'll turn it on and off.
There we go. Thank you. So I was thinking, with farming simulators, you love to see the progress, but you don't really like doing the tasks eventually. You're like, okay, milk the cows. I want to make it fun, like a series of little mini games going around a farm. So this isn't really going to be like a farming simulator in the sense that you're building stuff up, but maybe it'll be something where you can earn less serious in terms of what the crafting is, but more focused on the mini games and the tasks at hand.
Okay. I see this working I see it working in a specific way where the mini games are kind of like the focus of the game, where you have this open world that you not open, but like an open farm that you can have, and then you walk up to your plot of land and you press a water or sow, and there's a sowing mini game, and then you press water or whatever, and later on you harvest. But the way I see it is you're doing this to build up your farm, and you get money from every harvest. You use that money to buy better equipment, eventually better facilities, and they'll make that certain mini game easier and easier until you open up a new facility, and then it opens up a new mini game, and then that one.
You got it.
Okay, cool.
And the better you do at the game, the better your crops will turn out, or the better bonus you'll have to the yield. So you'll be rewarded more, or maybe you'll even make the animal happy.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm worried about is what happens when someone gets sick of doing these motions. Is the game going to be... Is there like maybe a fast forward button where you could maybe skip the easier tasks that you've done a certain number of times, and you only have to do the motion stuff for the harder mini games?
I think that would be fair. I think it would be fair that if the player's done a task so many times and has hit a good enough level on it that they can skip it.
Yeah. But then eventually it's going to run into the issue where we just have no more mini games to add, and someone could just fast forward through all of them, you know?
Well, they could also... I was thinking there could be a co-op component, and then we could keep adding mini games. I think that would be the thing, is we'd have to keep adding things, where that means horse wrangling, whether that means
juicing,
no,
beekeeping,
like stacking up hail. Yeah, beekeeping. There you go. Gathering ducks together, maybe working with a dog to herd.
I think there could be a whole processing section of this game where you do juice your fruits and your vegetables, and it
gets to that point honeys, where yeah,
pickle your vegetables.
Yeah, there could be a game maybe where everything that you've harvested is on a shelf in front of you, and you can take out a mason jar and combine them to either make chutneys, jellies, marmalades.
Yeah, and there's a mini game attached to that, and that's like That could be the processing DLC, where instead of just selling your raw goods, you could now turn them into other stuff and then start your own farmers market section. It's like you didn't get to this part in Washington, but at a certain point where you get to the farmers sections, you'll see like random farms off the side of the freeway that's like, come buy apples here, and then you go in and they sell apples and apple jam, and they sell like apple honey.
Oh yeah, cider. Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's like, or sometimes there just be a sign, and I'm not used to it. It almost got me in where it's just like a sign that's unprofessional, just says cider, and I'm like, is there good cider there?
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what we are, that person in this game, where we have this farm and we sell them to bigger areas out, but we also have a supply at our own place and we make stuff out of it, and you could sell that. Now,
Let's also make it where maybe you get to choose the geography of where your farm is, and by doing that, it has your farm specialize the different animals. So depending on where you live or where you've designed, you're going to have different cows, different horses, and whatnot. And I want to take this one step further. Why don't we make it so that you can visit your other friends' farms and help them with their mini games? And if you do that, you get to take home the yield. So then you could plant their trees that they had, or maybe you could do something where you help them in the mini game of cow rearing. When their cow's pregnant, you would want to go over there when that happens, and then you would maybe get your own baby cow.
Yeah. Cool.
So like it'd be like a raid, but instead everyone gets awarded a baby cow to take home, or a horse.
Maybe there could be, in the same vein, like competitions. You know how in like Stardew Valley or in Harvest Moon, there'd be like festivals that happen throughout the year. And they'll be like, present your best harvest, and then you present it, and then like it's just your like best, competition stuff.
Yeah, your best pig and stuff. And okay, cool.
And then there could be like a rodeo section with like horse races and like dog shows and stuff like that.
So most obviously this game's going to be first person, right?
Oh, no, that's not what I was thinking at all.
How? Because aren't you doing the motion yourself?
So I was thinking it'd be like isometric, walking around like Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley, like, and then when you walk up to like the plot of land to do the mini game, it'll go up and bring up its own UI for that mini game. Kind of like
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like use like maybe it could just have the background in the foreground or whatever, in like different areas of where you're at, but it would just bring up its own UI thing.
I see.
But when you're navigating the world, it'll be, you know, like top down 2.5 or 2D or whatever you want it to look like in terms of graphics.
That works. And that would also help with visiting the islands and everything like that. Not islands. Whoops. Farms. Ha. So I could see there being a farm like Washington, very green, very wet. I can see there being more of like a chaparral dry farm, like deserty, like Idaho or something, where it's very flat.
And you could switch between these farms freely, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Or maybe you start off with one and then you open up different parts of the map, which unlock even more mini games.
Right, exactly.
Okay, cool. What's the art style looking like? What do you think?
Okay, before we get to art style, I do want to talk about pricing.
Yes.
Because I see this as a free-to-play game.
Yeah, and we can just release stuff, and then they can buy packs.
Yeah, and that being said, I see it looking kind of like a weird art style, where it's kind of like, for example, on Switch, it's also a mobile game. There's a game called like Poke Cafe or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it has like its own Kingdom Hearts key like art style to it. There's also, you know, the plain Facebook style art or games like Farmville, or like there's one on mobile called like Gardenscape or whatever, where the art style is just kind of, it's like
simple.
It's simple. It's 2D,
colorful,
but not pixelated,
And also
like all
thick
the
lines, thick
yeah,
outlines, right?
exactly, and like all the models and stuff are like their own picture, and they animate it, so it's like a cartoony art of something, and that's animated, not so much made up of pixels.
Okay, we can do that, and I would want it then. We have to put in a lot of character creation as well, maybe with some additional packs that we release with different farms and mini games. That just so that everybody feels like they're their own unique farmer.
Hmm. Definitely. And you could, of course, buy everything with in-game currency. You could earn in-game currency, the premium currency or whatever in-game easily. But if you want a fast track, yeah. And I guess this would have to come out for Switch and for mobile.
Mobile,
It would be
yeah.
like one of those crossover games.
Okay. Okay. So, what's the music like?
Just
I'm thinking it's just like kind of like normal instrumental stuff going on in the background. Farmer music always to me sounds a little upbeat, but maybe we have some more naturey sounds along there too, and something that's a little bit more muted so it's not up in your face. You don't want
yeah,
to hear Old MacDonald every single day.
yeah. No, I just hear a soft, simple, like MIDI pop soundtrack to this. Just something kind of
Yeah.
like in the background and just kind of poppy and happy.
Well, all right, Jay. Get your timer out because we're going to name this game.
All right. Go.
All the livelong day.
What?
I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I
That's
don't
a
know.
railroad.
Could be a farm. What should we say? Growing.
Farm to table.
There you go.
Farm to table in 38 seconds.
Farm to Table is a game where you play as a farmer in charge of their own operation. You have many mini games you can play to not only increase yield, but also get better quality items. On top of that, travel to other friends' farms so that you may get unique plants, animals, and foods that you wouldn't ordinarily find on yours in Plant to Table.
Farm to
All right,
table.
Jay. Farm to Table. Farm to Table. Now that we have a complete game, what game studio would you assign to make Farm to Table the best?
The first people that come to mind is just straight up Nintendo and their mobile game people. DNA? Do you know what they're called? The mobile side of Nintendo?
I do not.
Anyway, yeah, Nintendo and their mobile game DNA. I was right with the DE. And yeah, just to make it like more Nintendo-fied, maybe add like Mario characters in there, and stuff like that.
I'm trying to think of a good game that utilize the Joy-Cons. Now that I know, whenever you make a Switch game, it's almost hard not to say Nintendo as a developer.
Right. Oh, you're like trying to think of other people that did it?
Yeah, that would.
There was that terrible Cooking Mama game apparently that came out.
Or what if Minecraft branches out and starts doing this?
But then it would be on Microsoft. Where the motion stuff be on Microsoft? Well, I guess the mobile game wouldn't be there, but that'd all be touch stuff. I feel like all the mobile stuff or all the motion stuff would be replaced by touch on phones.
Let's give it to Bethesda.
That's Microsoft too.
Son of a bitch, you're right. Well, whatever. There's Bethesda games on Nintendo.
Yeah,
We're
that's
good.
true. I would give it to Game Freak.
That's another good one. Game Freak is good. And they did make a solitaire game about horse racing. So,
which I heard was really good, and I never played because it was on 3DS.
Yeah, it was very good.
I love solitaire.
And with that, Our 139th IP has gone gold. We hope you look forward to this experience that will never release. You can write to @poundgames@gmail.com if you have anything to patch into the game we create today. Also give us feedback. We are still learning how to make this show better, and your feedback really helps.
Probably will never release. Don't sell yourself short.
Really? You think this one may have something? I don't know about this one.
And also, I probably wouldn't play this game. I don't think it would be that much fun.
I think I'd play it a little bit. There's a certain audience that I think this game would be good for.
Yeah. No,
I hope I didn't just make shovelware.
The dumbed down farming simulator guys.
We have a Patreon. If you'd like to back our ideas, please head over to patreon.com/weareNotGameDevs. Patrons receive episodes 2 days early and an extra podcast at the beginning, which you caught the tail end of our conversation at the beginning of this episode. That's patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. If you liked our show, why not subscribe and give us all the stars on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Store, Spotify, YouTube, and more. And if they ask for a review, instead of reviewing our show, become your in-game critic and review Farm to Table, the video game we just created today. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next Friday with another new IP. My name is Alex Gonzalez.
And I'm J.E.
Thank you, and please remember that we are not game devs.
This is the game that the people that play Farming Simulator play when they're on the toilet not playing Farming Simulator.
It's like when I heard the story about a smoker who was trying to quit cigarettes, and what he would do is he'd chew on nicotine gum. Oh, I think it was Nick from Kind of Funny, and then he would take the nicotine gum out, smoke a cigarette, and then put the nicotine gum back in.
That's how you do it. That's how you wean off cigarettes.
No, it's not.